with Stefanski, I guess, is that sort of the first place to start here with expectations?
I think the bar is too low if it's set at 7-9 for Kevin Stefanski's first season. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that right now, and you kind of alluded to it, Scott. I just think it's too low because of the talent that he has around him. This is a roster that is built to contend for the playoffs, and they're going to have to do that. And they also have the fourth easiest schedule in the NFL this year. The opportunities are there. Now, that's a little bit misleading, that number, that 4.46 win percentage or whatever, because Ben Roethlisberger wasn't involved in that. Joe Burrow is around now. And so that's changed. But I still think that 7-9, that bar is too low. They need to have a winning season this year. It's a roster that is absolutely built to win and win now. And if he's worth and what everybody says he is, and he's as great as they believe he's going to be as a head coach, he should be able to coax a winning season out of this 2020 roster.
I remember we were all really interested in seeing how Freddie was going to be once he was head coach running a practice. We got a glimpse of it during off-season workouts. Would Freddie change? And he did. He was basically the same guy, but we got all these new parts to his personality that maybe we didn't see when he was the offensive coordinator, especially now when he was a running backs coach. How will Kevin Stefanski change in that way, if at all? He's been pretty laid back, I would think, over the first few months here as head coach. So everything they've done make you think that they are totally in control of what's happening. They've talked a lot about how they've dealt with all this remote practicing, and it seems like they're on top of things. But again, it's as long as you win on Sunday, I guess Sunday will make everything else look better, whether it's the same as Freddie Kitchens or his other predecessors did it or not.
It does kind of come down to, is Baker Mayfield, and we talked so much about this the other day, is Baker Mayfield the guy that's going to get them there? And he has to be that in order for this plan to work. And if it doesn't, at least now they do have someone waiting in the wings in Case Keenum that could step in and win games for them.
Yeah, I mean, your ceiling is going to be Baker Mayfield. No matter who the head coach is, your ceiling right now is going to be Baker Mayfield or whoever your quarterback is. But we've seen Kevin Stefanski and Alex Van Pelt too be able to get the best out of quarterbacks. So, I mean, for me, it's hard for me to even put a win total on it and say, well, he has to win this many games. It's just, I guess right now, and maybe this is just because it's the spring and we haven't even watched practices or anything, I just think about it more abstractly. I want to see what he can do with Baker Mayfield. I want to see if I come away feeling like this team has a real identity finally, and just feeling like, okay, they can continue to add to this and add to this. And, in the next year or two, we're going to be talking about a team that can make that leap into the top of the AFC. But that's so that's kind of, my expectations are very abstract about Kevin Stefanski. I'll put it that way.
Well, even already, we already kind of have an idea of what the identity will be, which is so far ahead of where we've been, with the previous few coaches. We knew, Hugh Jackson coming from the Bengals, we had seen a little bit. We knew he liked to do the crazy things with, splitting linemen out. And we knew a little bit, but not so much as we know with Stefanski, I think. And the way that he's kind of remolded this offense to bring in, a fullback to bulk up tight ends. And so we kind of have that going already. We know that it's not probably going to be a carbon copy of what we saw in Minnesota, but we do have that starting point that I think is better than what we've had with other coaches. So that kind of works in his favor. And also, like you said, the fact that he's an offensive coach and he had such success with Kirk Cousins, and we saw him put Kirk Cousins in positions to succeed. And it wasn't so much of him being a quote-unquote quarterback whisperer, but it was the fact that he's calling plays and he's making sure that his quarterback is efficient. And knowing how much Baker struggled last year, having him paired with Stefanski now, you would think, on paper anyways, that seems like it's a good thing that they're together and it's going to help Baker.